Good morning. Welcome to my kitchen. Excuse any mess you might see in the video. I'll get this place looking video worthy at some point. But I want to start this, I guess, a series. Every once in a while, I'll do a video on something I'm making food wise. Because if you're one of those people that are sensitive to the poisons that's in the normal food system, especially the pesticides and herbicides. How do you live in today's modern civilization and remain healthy? Well, the easy answer is you don't. But there is still ways that you could avoid those poisons. And I'm finding now that I am feeling decently healthy. I still have itching in the joints and using the washroom a lot, but I'm doing pretty good. And I'm going to make a series on the meals that I eat to give ideas on how you can help yourself feel better, because I haven't come across any videos as of yet where someone can cook from scratch, especially if they're living in a rural area, where they can get certified organic or grow their own and cook from just that. Most of the recipes you would have to have some kind of ingredient from the store that more than likely has pesticides and herbicide residue in it. So this morning I am going to make some potato pancakes. One of the easiest from scratch breakfasts that you can make. To get the ingredients, we're first going to head outside. Arugula is my favorite of the common greens that someone would grow in their garden. In my opinion, there is a wild plant. Most people are just trying to get rid of the thing. But in my opinion, it is very close to arugula. And that is dandelion. And once the dandelion plant gets to be a little bit of a decent size, you just gather around and you get all. Now, in that one pulling, I got enough dandelions for 2 or 3 breakfasts. I'll have to pull another one for you just to show you. You see, here's one of the single plants. So you go right down to the base and make sure you get all the leaves. Pull up on it. This time even a bit of the root come with it. But you have it all together like that, then it's easy to shake out most of the other bits of grass and that you might come up with it. There is going to be a time as well when I'm going to have a patch of oregano that's mostly weed free. This was the original one. Now this is Italian oregano. So I'll pick a bunch of this. Oregano, especially Italian oregano, it's not invasive here, but it can grow up in among a lot of weeds. Sometimes when you let this go to flower and go to seed will get around and you'll find patches of oregano in other areas of your garden. But they won't take over the lawn and you'd have like a lawn full of oregano. But I'm just getting a handful of oregano, chop up and put in my pancakes this morning. Now I'm not sure why. I've got to keep watching that. Sometimes that camera shuts off and I don't know why. So I got to keep looking over to make sure it's still recording. Nice sharp knife, of course. chop up your oregano as small as you can. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you how much oregano to put in. That's up to you, really. Experiment with it. Take a little mixing bowl. Now, the base of potato pancake is potatoes. So I got my kitchen scale here. Essentially, I try to get 300 grams of potatoes, but I also don't want to cut a potato and put part of it back. So to get 300, at least 300 grams, I've got to go well over 300 grams right now with these 3 potatoes. So I'm buying potatoes. These are from Bishop's Falls, so they don't have sprout inhibitor on them because you see they're sprouting. So we know for sure they don't have sprout inhibitor on them. They are actually given a quick wash. The commercial potato producers do before they store them. So I am not worried with that. But if you are, once again, with your water in your sink, give them a quick rinse. Because I checked it out. I weighed a potato, 150 grams. I peeled it with regular vegetable peeler. It was 98 grams. So if you peel your potatoes, the skin is quite edible and it's a very thin layer on top of the potato. If you peel your potato, you're peeling away half of what you paid for. If it's one you grew in your backyard, of course, you're just peeling stuff and throwing it back in the compost. So if you've got an abundance of potatoes, it doesn't matter. But if you're actually peeling it and you're a boy of little money, then why would you peel away half of what you actually paid money for? You do, though, however, have to look them over and see if there's any real, what looks to be blemishes on them, and skim that bit off because you don't know how deep that blemish goes. There are several ways of putting this together, so I'll probably do a few shorts on different versions of potato pancakes, but for today, the main base ingredients for the potato pancake is potatoes, eggs, salt and pepper to taste. Sorry, I'm left-handed, and that's the only side I can put you on. Actually, I tried putting you on that side, and it's too close. Put that in the bowl. If you're a bachelor and want to save yourself some work, don't let things dry on. Rinse it off, put it back on a cloth right away. Now, take one of our dandelions that we just got. And I cut off the piece where it's where they all join together, and put it to the side because it's harder to get that cut up into little pieces. And I cut this up now as small as I can. Cut up the flowers, even if the flower has been gone over and now it's the closed portion where it's those white fluffy things and seeds. That's edible too, so you don't have to worry about whether or not you got seeds in your along your dandelions. The entire dandelion plant is edible. And as I was saying, it grows wild. It grows so easy that most people are just trying to get rid of it. Dandelions used to be a popular green that people would grow in their cottage garden. And now I know this bowl weighs 177 grams. I got 700 grams there. So I've got quite a bit of extra, more than I wanted. I'm only going to I got 370 grams of potatoes or something. Normally, I put in one egg for about 125 grams, 150 grams of what I've got in the bowl. I'm going to put 4 eggs in here. The eggs I had to buy. Apparently, the herbicides and pesticides don't get into eggs, or at least my system don't react to it. So any poisons that has gotten into the egg from the commercial feed that they feed the hens doesn't react with my nerves. Salt. You can harvest salt from the sea if you're live close by. It is, however, one of those things that they mine. This is not a firm thing, salt. Therefore, most of it comes from rock salt. And once again, it would have very little, if any, of the pesticide, herbicide contaminants in it. I don't have ground pepper right now, so this is the mixture that we're going to make. I'm going to turn on the stove here now. And you keep stirring this until it's well coated, the egg is well coated, everything. And by that time, of course, all the dandelion and oregano that I put in there will be well mixed in among the potato as well. Everything will be well mixed together. If you add something that you're putting on top of the potato pancakes, then that would be extra nutrition. right now, the only thing I got to go on top of it to my pancakes, I had these few cherry tomatoes that I grew on the little microdorf tomato plants. But these greens, whatever you add to your potato pancakes, it's for added nutrition and fiber. If you're adding greens to your pancakes. You can see now it's well coated and mixed together. Only that way, are you? I'll deal with that one later. The treads don't work very well on that bottle, apparently. That's what that frying pan is there for. Now you notice here, I have the burner down below. It's on 3. It goes from low to 4, 6, and high. So out of 8, I've got to put on 3. Because depending on how well you want the outside of your pancake done, if I put this on my stove, if I put it up to medium, 4 and just above, then the outside of the pancake will be quite dark. And if you like it that way, then fine enough, right? I would rather have them a little lighter. What I'm using as a scoop is a 1/4 cup measure. And that makes what I consider a good sized pancake. So the base, your vegetables, because later on you'll see you can add carrots and, or grated rutabaga or turnip or whatever to these pancakes. So for every 100 grams of grated vegetable, like root vegetable, I put in 1 egg and then an extra egg for the cut up greens that I put in there. Now I'll slip the by you here. They don't take very long to cook. And like I said, at that temperature, I can get them to cook all the way through and they still stay nice and light on the outside. I'm going to cut up these tomatoes, since I have them, and put them on top of 1 or 2 of the pancakes. I found that if you put something watery in the pancakes, that they don't hold together as well. And so, what I'm thinking in the future, when I get an abundance of potatoes, I'm going to make some dry potato flour, and that way I might be able to add something watery to the pancakes directly. But for now, anything like this, I just had to put them on top of the pancakes as a topping. I did last time I was at the store. I bought those naturally imperfect tomatoes, beefsteak ones, and I had no reaction to them. Once again, tomatoes are a nightshade plant, and this knife seems to be dull. You can't cut a tomato with your knife you're using, and sharpen it. Now back to watching our pancakes. I put them out there like that and let them cool a little bit while I'm frying the second batch. Then when I flip those, I'll stack them up like that. And like I say, since I only got the few little cherry tomatoes, not much left, so I'm going to add it to these. Now you can turn that off and they'll finish cooking. Because it's a good idea to turn them off when you flip those last ones. Several times I've forgotten to turn that off because I didn't turn it off as soon as I was able to. There. Add a cup of tea with that, and you've got breakfast.